Good morning, dear students. So now we will be starting a new topic, which is sensory integration therapy. Regarding it is a treatment method used in neurological physiotherapy as well as in occupational therapy. So here, this topic we will be going through in what is a theory of sensor integration. To understand the ideology and the philosophy of sensor integration theories, to understand the theories, and then we'll go through which disorders in which patients, or usually most of the time the large group of patients are children's. So we will go through the disorders, and then finally we will go to the interventions, that is the therapeutic techniques which has to be applied, the sensor integration techniques which has to be applied with the knowledge of the theory of sensor integration. And here the disorders which you already have studied, or already studying, and maybe you will be studying in future also, the disorders may be different, but here now the same disorders you will see that in the perspective of sensory integration, and then you'll go to the treatment technique. Now we'll go to the next slide. So sensory integration therapy is actually is found by uh, occupational therapist. She found this technique in 1963. Her name is Dr. Jean Ayres. She postulated the idea is that sensory integration is the ability. What is so? The question is, what is sensory integration? So it is the ability of a person to take in a variety of sensory input, process and understand it and use it. So in normal life, uh, all of you students, or any normal person without any neurological pathology, usually at any given time we are flooded with lot of sensations in our atmosphere. Right now, when I'm recording this class, I'm sitting in a room. I feel the touch of the chair where I'm sitting. My foot is placed on the floor. I can feel that tactile sensations coming. My proprioceptive sensations are, always giving me stimulation sensations about, and regarding the joint position and joint sense. My visual, my apparatus, that is my eye, is able to see the laptop which I'm using, and the PowerPoint presentation which I'm using, the color of the presentation, the photo of Jean Ayres, and I'm able to hear the sound of the fan which is revolving. So all this in the same moment, it's in every same second, a microsecond, we are flooded. Every human being is flooded with lot of sensations. So sensory integration is the ability of a person to take in a variety of sensory input. So now you understand what is a variety of sensory input. All these sensations, which we namely call as all the tactile, proprioceptive, visual, auditory, vestibular, gustative, that is taste and smell. So all this are the variety of sensory inputs which a person is able to take. So normally, in normal scenario, if these number of sensations are coming together, it may cause a half facade effect, but normally it does not happen in a mature brain. And that happens because the brain processes it, whatever is sensation, or in case of, you can compare this to a computer. A lot of data may be provided, that the processor will process it. All the data coming in will be processed by a processor in a computer. If you are using a very good processor, it will process a lot of tasks together. If you take the olden day computers, the computers can only do one job at a task at a time, or even that means that the processor, the same way our brain is a, we can say that it is processing lot of stimulatory data, that is information. A sensation can be a stimulatory data which is being processed by our brain, and the brain comprehends. That's what we here she said as understand it means comprehending. Comprehending means which sensation, what is which sensation is what is the amount of sensation, the measurement magnitude of the sensation. So the brain understands it, and then according to that uses it, or use it, or what we can say is react it. Maybe it's maybe the way it may be a reaction, or it may be a response. So it can be a behavior also. So according to Jean Ayres, the ability, sensory integration is the ability of a person to take in a variety of sensory input, process and understand it, and use it. What are the senses? Normally this is known, you already have studied this. Vestibular, that is a very important sense. According to sensory integration therapy, we put vestibular sense as the most important sense in well understanding and using the sensory integration technique. Next would be the tactile touch or tactile proprioception. The three mentioned above, the vestibular, tactile and proprioceptive, are the most important senses. We call them as power senses in a sensory integration model. The other senses very important, which are visual, auditory, taste and smell. How is information processed? Main sensor system like tactile, proprioception, vestibular, which we are, I told you already, we call it as power sensors. So all these sensors here, you can see that all these sensors are, this is a human's brain, and this tactile, visual, taste and the smell, all these are coming all from different parts of the body. It comes and it will relate to the brain. So transmitters of information from environment to brain is what is happening. Why sensory integration? Why should we use sensory integration? Because sensory integration increases interaction with others, develops necessary skills, it helps in organization. So it increases interaction with others. Normally, when you start sensory integrative therapy, even being with experience in dealing with a lot of pediatric patients, I have understood that the when you start treating using, we keep in mind all the sensory integrated techniques and try to address your patient's problem through this approach. You can see that it will increase you both your patient rapport, your the patient's integration, the child's integration with you, and you can understand more about the child using this technique, as well as you will see that the child progresses to being a good social, socially interactive child. Second is sensory integration helps a child to develop necessary skill, which the skills which can be in a different level, and those skills, whatever may be the skills, the necessary skills are, learning becomes easier for the child. The third one is organization. See, for any type of success in any area, whether it is a motor function, learning process, or whatever may be the function, organized organization is very important. Organizing what you want, how, or even to recollect something. If you are studying something and to recollect it, you have to, when you study itself, you have to study in an organized manner. Otherwise, when you recollect, you will not get it in a organized manner. So here we are, because we are dealing with movement disorders and sensory problems. So the organization is to have a good motor as well as sensory behavior. So sensory integration theory, we can be split into in which areas. So automatic processes. Uh, most of the time, most of the time you may see that a lot of the automatic processes which are normally seen in human, human functional ability may be affected. So in those areas, we will be applying sensory integration therapy. Natural outcomes will occur. Natural outcome is because using sensory integration therapy will increase the outcomes which we desire, the therapist will desire, will be addressed. Learning problems mean in every aspect: learning social skill, learning motor skills, learning intellectual skills, learning proper gait pattern, all kinds of learning and all kinds of skills fine motor skills, the gross motor skills, all this will be solved. So total learning problem which the child may face will be solved using sensory integration therapy. So developmental lags means we are talking about the developmental milestones. Now, even though the child may come to you as in a different age group, but still you have to check that the what and all developmental lags a child will have, and you can address and you can solve those developmental lags. Finally, but not very simple, most of the kids who come to you as a client will have a lot of behavioral issue. They will be known to their teacher, class teacher, or in a nursery or a daycare center as a most irritating child because of the behavioral issue which is actually the resultant response in behavior response which the child is showing. So that what the child shows some activities which is commonly complained by the parents as well as the teachers or any other caregiver as a behavioral issue. So we should not consider that as a behavioral issue. We being a physiotherapist with the knowledge of the sensor integration and other approaches have to understand that these behaviors which the child is showing is due to some organic problem. What is the problem? I'll be discussing that in future. Okay, in the slides ahead. So how is sensor integration used? As a physiotherapist, when you are going to treat a patient, understand the whole environment. Don't just think about the child and the as a client and how you and you will treat a child. And when we treat a patient normally. In other case scenario, like you're treating a stroke patient or you're treating an orthopedic or a sports injury case, you only see yourself and the patient. You don't see anything. You'll just need a couch or you need a treatment gym area and you will treat the child or the adult or whatever, whoever is the patient, you will treat them. But here, understanding the whole environment, meaning that not only the therapeutic environment or the clinic environment of the clinic, we are talking about the whole environment the child is living, starting from the bed the child may sleep, the play area, the siblings, the whole environment means the number of people in the family, the number of siblings, and the whole environment has to be understood, whether the parents are together, the parents are there, or the father is not there. So the whole learning, the understanding, the you have to understand the child as a social, so what is the social circumstances, what is the whole environment, that is what we are talking about. And then is used to before using, you have to learn a lot of things regarding the child, and then only after understanding and learning about the problem faced by the child and the real problem what the child is facing, then only you, so the learning process, you have first of all learn, and then that will be helpful to for the process of the child to learn, to solve this problem, understand what is going on around us. So the child will so first is to make, so once you know what is the whole problem, how the child sees the environment, the child may see and perceive the environment in a different way. The child may learn some things but not learn things which you desire in the way you desire. The child will be learning but may be learning in a different way. So understand what is going on. So the child will sensor integration, uh, it has to be used in such a way that what is going on, the child should understand what is, simply treating a child will not be enough. The child has to learn and understand what is going around with the child around the environment. So that is very very important. And how to regulate, so regulating we cannot just change the environment, but here the idea is to how to adapt the child, equip the child to adapt with the environment, and and to adapt and to tolerate the environment. That is what how it should be using, we should be using sensor integration therapy. So neurobiologically based concepts, the neurobiological base for sensory integration therapy is neuroplasticity, central nervous system organization, adaptive response, sensory nourishment. So here, I think so we will discuss that in the next part.